Hello, dance friends. Today we are going to be looking at the traveling folkloric circle. Some people also refer to this as a circle step. And to get into this, first we need to talk about how to make that folkloric circle happen on its own before we travel with it. So we're going to begin with our feet in second position, meaning that our feet are just right underneath our hips and our toes are comfortably pointed forward, or if you have a natural turnout, it's okay to have that turned out just a little bit. And of course, we're going to bend those knees. Now, this circle is thinking about just shifting the weight around to create the circle. So in this case, we're not going to have a whole bunch of isolated movements. We're really simply pushing our weight around, but there is one thing we need to do to protect our lower back with these circles. So I'm going to send my weight over to one side, making sure I'm keeping those hips level. I don't want to push out so far that I tick that hip up or send it back. So I'm just sliding out to one side. And then I'm going to arc my hips, the entire pelvic area. I'm going to arc it forward and over to the other side. Now, when I arc it across the back, this is where it gets really important to protect. I want to do that by engaging my lower abdominal muscles. I'm going to pull in and the hips come back. So this is really pulled in here. It's supporting my low back and my spine is as flat as I can get it here rather than just pushing the booty out. We're going to pull the belly in to try to keep that booty where it belongs. And there we are, back to where we started. So we arc it forward to the side and arc it back to the side, forward, side, back, side, forward, side, and hold it over here. Let's go the other way. Now what you can see happening, we're going to keep going and I'm going to keep talking. My shoulders and my head are staying pretty much in the same place in space. The relationship to my hip is changing because the hip is moving around. So we want to be careful that we don't start getting our upper body involved and making circles up top. This stays still and we're shifting the weight around, protecting the low back by pulling that low belly in. And this is our big folkloric hip circle. All right. So when we travel with these, we're generally talking about either a side-to-side motion or around a corner, and we're going to cover both of those in the drill later on. So I'm going to scooch over just a little bit. The side-to-side step is simply step, together, step, and in our case, touch. You could, of course, do them indefinitely. And we go step, together, step, touch, just the ball of the foot. You can see my heels up, step, together, step, touch, and one more this way, step, together, step, touch. Now what you might be able to notice here is every time I step, I'm stepping on a fully flat foot, and that's going to be really important. And then together, step, touch, and that's the only time you can see it in the mirror. I have my heel up, step, together, step, touch. All right, so we're going to, before we do circles, we're going to look at the front and the back of our circle as we step. As we step open, we're going to send the hips forward. As we step closed, we're going to pull that low belly in, send the hips back, and then step forward, and then touch. You're still going to engage that low belly. So we're ending it kind of to the back side when we get the circle done, but get used to the idea of making sure that core is nice and zipped up at the end. So I'm going to step open again, send the hips forward. Step together, pull the belly in, hips go back. Forward and a little back, just a tiny bit behind neutral here. And we go step with forward, back, forward, touch, forward, back, forward, touch. One more each side, and then we're going to make it a circle. You might already be feeling with the shift of your weight that your hips want to make that circle happen. So as we step open, forward with the hip, and we're going to bring that hip out. So we're going to bring our weight, or our hip rather, over the foot that now has the weight in it. So that's this leg. As I bring the hips back and step together, I'm going to come across the back and shift the weight into this leg. That way, this one's free to step again. Step as I go forward, weight goes into this hip, and then touch. And I kind of want to end in a neutral place here. We're going to go the other way. So step open, hip goes forward and across. The weight is over my standing leg. Hips go back, and the weight is on the foot that just stepped in. So now I can step open again, forward, out to this side, pull the hips back, and those feet come together. Oops, that should have been the touch. So then we're going to just come to our neutral. Okay. Now, if we want to do this and make the movement turn, it's really just as simple as, instead of traveling step together, step touch, you just sort of turn on your spot, step, 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 touch, step, 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 touch. And if you want to travel and turn, you can make those steps a little bigger to make a little arc on the floor with your feet. And then we can add the hips to that. So I'm going to start over here, hips go forward, and I'm going to go step, forward to the side, step, bring it back in, step, and touch. And we always want to make sure that touch is happening with our downstage leg. That's the one closest to your audience. We're going to open out on this foot now, forward to the side, back, forward, touch. And make sure we're still engaging here in that touch. We pull that low belly in a little bit, gives it a nice little finish. One more time around each corner. Together, step, touch, good. And again, the shoulders are going on the turn with us, but make sure we're not using the torso to counter the circle. Together, step, touch. All right. All right, so now we're going to put on our music and drill these with the circles by themselves, walking them side to side and taking them around the corner. Let's go ahead and begin with our feet under our hips. Bend those knees, send the hip out to the left. Now from here, we're going to arc across the front, and we go left to right, weight is in the right, pull the belly in, come back to the left. Arc across the front, weight is here, pull the belly in, weight returns to the left. Arc it across the front, and there's no movement in the feet here, not yet. Okay, instead of half and half, let's go all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chest stays lifted, head stays still. 4, 3, 2, and this last one we're going to hold over here, half and half, going the other way. Forward to the left, pull the hips back to the right. Forward to the left, belly in, back to the right. Can't stress that enough. Belly in is what's going to protect your lower back. Forward to the left, back to the right. Now we're going to speed this up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And again, feet are staying on the ground. We're not working that step yet, but you can feel the weight changing in your feet. You can see where the steps are going to go. 4, 3, 2, and hold it over here. We're going to go side to side next. All right, first let's just take the hips forward and back as we open and close the feet. So we go hips forward, hips back, step the feet together, hips forward, and then pelvis in and touch. Forward, back, belly in, forward, belly in while you touch. One more, nice and slow like that. Forward, belly in, forward, belly in, and touch that left foot. Remember, completely flat steps. Belly in, forward, and touch. Let's make the circle. Forward, really slow for now. Back and to the left, forward and to the right, back and pull it in, neutral, touch, and we go forward to the right, back to the left, forward to the right, neutral and touch, forward to the left, back to the right, forward to the left, and neutral. All right, we're going to speed it up just a little bit. 7, 8, we go forward and back and forward and touch, forward and back. Don't forget, belly in on that touch, forward and back and forward and touch. Flat feet, completely flat steps. It makes a big difference. Commit to the step so your weight is on that foot before your hip gets there. Because by the time you bring that hip around, if your feet are not prepared, you're going to get a weird little movement and not what we're looking for. Let's try taking it around the corner now. So we go forward, together, step, touch. I'm going to call feet. Step, together, around your corner, step, touch. And that touch leg is always the one closest to your audience or downstage. Step, together, step, touch. Hips go forward to the right, back to the left, forward to the right, and pull in. Forward to the left, back to the right, forward to the left, pull it in. Just a few more here. And notice how, yes, my shoulders come with that turn, that little angle to angle, but I'm still keeping my torso lifted and out of the movement. So I'm not circling up above. It's all happening down below. One more to the left, forward to the left, back to the right, forward to the left, and touch. All right. So that's our traveling folkloric circles, side to side or around the corner. Very useful, very juicy little earthy movement. I love these a lot, so I'm happy to have shared them with you today. Keep practicing, and I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for joining me for the technique tip of the week. And just know that you can like and subscribe. I upload one of these videos every single week with a little technique tip followed by a little drill. So please like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon.